I just killed my mother. And
What happened, sir?
I just killed my mother, and I need to go to the hospital.
And what happened?
It wasn't me who killed her. It was Jeff.
In the quiet town of Urbana, Ohio, a horrific crime unfolded on April 6, 2017, that left the community in shock. Donovan Nicholas, a 14-year-old boy, brutally murdered his surrogate mother, Heidi Fay Taylor, in an act of violence so severe it became a national headline. What made this case even more chilling was Donovan's claim that an alternate personality, inspired by the fictional internet horror character Jeff the Killer, was responsible for the crime. This case not only captivated the nation, but also raised important questions about the intersection of mental health, juvenile crime, and the justice system. As the legal proceedings unfolded, it became clear this was no ordinary case. Donovan's story is a grim reminder of the consequences of untreated mental health issues and the complexity of determining accountability in cases involving juveniles. Born on July 7, 2002, Donovan Asher Nicholas grew up in Urbana, a small city in Champaign County, Ohio. Donovan's biological mother was absent for much of his life, leaving him to be raised primarily by his father, Noah Shane Nicholas, and his father's long-term girlfriend, Heidi Fay Taylor. Heidi played a maternal role in Donovan's life, caring for him and maintaining the household. Despite a seemingly normal family structure, Donovan's inner world was far from stable. From a young age, he struggled with feelings of loneliness, rejection, and despair. By 6th grade, Donovan began experiencing suicidal thoughts, feeling like he was unworthy and unloved. He engaged in self-harm, hoping his visible injuries would elicit care and attention from his family. Instead of receiving the help he desperately needed, his cries for help were often dismissed or met with punishment. This lack of support pushed Donovan further into isolation. As he grew older, Donovan found solace in the internet, particularly in the world of online horror fiction. One character in particular captured his imagination, Jeff the Killer. This fictional figure, originating from the creepypasta community, is depicted as a homicidal maniac with a ghoulish white face, a permanent grin, and a chilling catchphrase, "Go to sleep." Donovan's obsession with Jeff the Killer became more than a mere fascination. It evolved into what he described as an alternate personality that took over during times of extreme stress or anger. This imaginary persona, which he also named Jeff, would later play a central role in the events that unfolded. On the evening of April 6, 2017, Donovan Nicholas committed a crime so brutal it defied comprehension. In a chilling 911 call, Donovan confessed to killing Heidi Taylor, but with a bizarre twist. He claimed that Jeff had taken over and committed the murder. According to court documents and police reports, the attack began with Donovan arming himself with a kitchen knife. He ambushed Heidi, stabbing her over 60 times. Despite her injuries, Heidi attempted to crawl away, but Donovan retrieved his father's 9mm handgun and shot her in the head, ensuring she would not survive. In a macabre homage to Jeff the Killer, Donovan dressed in a manner reminiscent of the character and even slashed his own face to mimic Jeff's infamous grin. His gruesome transformation was a testament to the extent of his psychological detachment from reality. When police arrived at the scene, Donovan was calm, almost eerily so. He repeated his claim that the killing was not his doing, but that of Jeff. The sheer savagery of the crime shocked investigators, and it quickly became apparent that this was no ordinary homicide. Donovan's arrest and subsequent legal proceedings marked the beginning of a complex and controversial journey through the justice system. Early on, Donovan's defense team emphasized his mental health struggles, arguing that he was not fully in control of his actions due to his belief in the alternate personality of Jeff. Psychological evaluations revealed a troubled young man. Donovan spoke openly about his feelings of isolation and despair, and he described how Jeff would emerge during moments of emotional turmoil. However, despite his claims, forensic psychologists determined that Donovan did not meet the criteria for dissociative identity disorder. They concluded that he was legally sane and capable of understanding the consequences of his actions. The prosecution argued that the murder was premeditated, pointing to the elaborate steps Donovan took to emulate Jeff the killer. Prosecutors painted a picture of a resentful teenager who had allowed his homicidal fantasies to escalate into reality. They claimed that Donovan had grown increasingly angry with Heidi over household rules and perceived slights, and this anger ultimately culminated in her murder. In June 2018, just days after his 16th birthday, Donovan was tried as an adult. He was convicted of aggravated murder and sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 28 years. The decision to try him as an adult sparked heated debates about whether the juvenile justice system had failed to address the underlying causes of his actions. While Donovan's conviction initially seemed like the end of the story, his legal team continued to fight on his behalf. In 2022, a surprising development changed the trajectory of his case. The Ohio Supreme Court ruled in a narrow 4-3 decision to overturn Donovan's conviction. The court's decision hinged on arguments that he was severely mentally ill at the time of the crime and that he would have been better served in the juvenile justice system where he could receive treatment and rehabilitation. This ruling paved the way for Donovan's release on July 7, 2023, his 21st birthday. After serving 6 years in custody, Donovan was freed under conditions that included strict supervision and ongoing mental health treatment. His release reignited public discourse about the balance between rehabilitation and punishment in cases involving juvenile offenders. For many, Donovan's release was a victory for those who advocate for mental health reform and second chances. However, others viewed it as a failure of the justice system to hold a murderer accountable. Heidi Taylor's family expressed profound disappointment, believing that justice had not been served for her brutal death. The case of Donovan Nicholas highlights several critical issues that extend far beyond the confines of one courtroom. It underscores the urgent need for comprehensive mental health services for adolescents, especially those exhibiting early signs of distress. Donovan's struggles with self-worth, suicidal ideation, and isolation were evident long before the murder, yet no meaningful intervention occurred. Moreover, the case raises important questions about how the justice system handles young offenders. Should juveniles who commit heinous crimes be treated as adults, or does society have a moral obligation to focus on rehabilitation? Donovan's story illustrates the challenges of striking this balance, particularly when mental health issues play a significant role. The influence of internet culture on Donovan's psyche also warrants scrutiny. His obsession with Jeff the killer was not merely an interest in horror fiction. It became a dangerous fixation that blurred the line between fantasy and reality. This aspect of the case serves as a cautionary tale about the potential dangers of unregulated access to disturbing online content. The tragic events surrounding Donovan Nicholas and Heidi Taylor's murder leave behind a legacy of pain, questions, and lessons. For Heidi's family, the wounds may never fully heal. For Donovan, his release marks the beginning of a long road toward redemption and recovery. Ultimately, this case serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of untreated mental health issues and the complexities of holding juveniles accountable for their actions. As society continues to grapple with these challenges, the story of Donovan Nicholas will remain a haunting example of what can happen when the warning signs of a troubled mind go unnoticed. And if you want to stay updated on more gripping true crime stories and thought-provoking discussions, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.